Welcome back to the next episode of Helix Amps Revisited, and today I'm going to be taking a look at an amp that is a real go-to for me. I have always been a huge fan of the way the Helix handles Fender-style amps. And the Fender Deluxe that we have inside the Helix is no exception. The Fender Deluxe Reverb, what can we say? One of the most iconic amps in the history of music, really. It's an amp that I actually have a reissue of here in the studio, and I must say the Helix does just a spectacular job of capturing what this amp is all about. Today I'm going to be looking at the US Deluxe Vib, and I'm going to have a little free preset available at the link below. It's going to be available at my website. You can go grab that and mess around with it. And this is a very, very similar single snapshot of my full-blown Line 6 Marketplace US Deluxe Vib Ultimate preset. Now that preset is going to have multiple snapshots, a load of effects on it, and it's just going to work beautifully. It's a preset that I use a lot, and I absolutely love it. It goes all the way from crystal cleans all the way up to lead channel. I would call it high gain by any channel, but we can play some beautiful leads with it, and I just love that preset. So later in the video, I'm going to have a demo of all the different snapshots from my US Deluxe Vib Ultimate preset from the Line 6 Marketplace, used together in a mix in a little composition. And I hope that that'll allow you to hear what that preset can actually do. But today I'm going to give you this free preset, and we're going to take a look at how we can dial it in and just how killer this amp is and how great a job it does of capturing that Fender goodness in our Helix. So without further ado, let's head over to HX Edit and take a look and see how I built this preset. All right, so here we are over in HX Edit. You'll notice I have this JS Deluxe Vib, and it's a single snapshot preset, kind of stripped back. Like I mentioned, my full-blown Line 6 Marketplace preset is going to be much more full-featured than this, multiple snapshots, and basically a full array of effects. We can get some beautiful, beautiful tones out of it. So starting off with the end of my chain here, I have my normal LA Studio comp involved, peak reduction of 5, gain of 5. Again, this is just to add a tiny little bit of glue at the end of the chain. It's barely working. It's going to be a dB to 2 dB of gain reduction at most. And I just like what it does when we have that LA Studio comp at the end. It just kind of polishes the preset up and makes it a little more pleasant in my opinion. All right, moving on from there, I have a full-blown parametric EQ block, and I know I have to keep mentioning this, but people always make comments, why do you have it in there? Right now, all I'm using it for is the low cut and the high cut. Low cut at 100 hertz, high cut at 10 kilohertz. I like to use the whole parametric EQ block just because, let's say we end up in a situation where we want to make a quick tweak. We don't have to swap out a block and make sense. We can just come in here, pick a frequency, make a tweak, and we're off to the races. So it's really doing nothing other than the low and high cuts. It's going to be very subtle here, especially on this preset not being a high gain preset. For the reverb, I chose the one of the newer dynamic room reverbs. I have a little bit of a longer delay than I would maybe use a lot of times. The decay at 1 second, pre-delay at 10 milliseconds, mix is around 35%, and that's basically it. It's going to give us a nice little bit of verb on there and some depth to our tone. Low and high shelf EQ, very typical settings for me for a lot of things. I have both low frequency and high frequency set at 650 hertz. All the frequencies below 650 pulled back by 2 dB. All the frequencies above 650 boosted by 2 dB. Now, the reason that might really be needed is because I'm using an interesting mic here. I'm using the 4038 Ribbon, which can be a very dark sounding mic. So cutting a little bit of that lower end mud and lows and boosting a little bit of the highs can really help to bring this mic to life. I have it positioned on the cap edge on the 212 double C12 end cabinet, and also pulling it back 3 inches helps to tame some of that lower end. Now, I also have the low and the high cut on here, which is going to be very similar settings to what we have here. We could probably remove this and not know as much of a difference. It just comes up stock like that, so I left it alone. But really, this is going to be very subtle stuff, especially on a preset like this. Moving on to the amp, I have the drive setting at 2, bass at 6.5, mid at 6.8, treble at 5.3, presence is off, channel volume and master both on 10, seg, hum, ripple at 5. I don't believe I touched those. Bias 6.5 and bias X at 5. So let's do this. Let's shut off our low and high shelf EQ, our reverb, and our little parametric block, which isn't really doing a whole heck of a lot, and our compressor at the end. And we'll take a listen to what just the amp and cab settings sound like here with nothing else, and then we can see how adding those blocks in one at a time are affecting the sound and making it better, in my opinion. So today I'm playing my Sir Classic T Telly style guitar. And here's what the tone sounds like on the bridge pickup. Nice, go to the neck pickup. All right, so not bad, nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna just bring in the compressor here at the end. All right, so nice stuff. We'll bring in our low and high cut because it's gonna be very subtle if needed at all. You will hear it kind of cleans up that low end just a little bit though. And now let's bring in our reverb. This will really kind of add some depth to this tone. So really nice stuff there. Let's bring in the low and the high shelf EQ. That's where I find that really polishes this tone up. That will be something that'll work really well right out of the box, in the mix, out of the mix, or live. And that is basically the tone. All right, so now that we've heard that, we would like to kind of hear what this and the other snapshots from my Line 6 Marketplace UX Deluxe Vib Ultimate preset would sound like when combined in the mix, maybe with some drums and bass, and layered with other guitars. So that's what this sounds like. All right, what did you guys think? I hope you enjoyed that. I absolutely love this tone and the other snapshots from my Line 6 Marketplace preset. This is a preset that I use all the time, and I think you guys will enjoy it. It really works nicely live in the studio, pretty much for any situation where you need this style of tone. The links are all below, both for the free preset that we dialed in today and for the full-blown Line 6 Marketplace US Deluxe Vib Ultimate preset. If you're so inclined, you want to help support the channel. It does help me to keep being able to do these videos and helping some folks out with their Helix. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please like the video. Please share it with anybody you think would get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. And also please subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I will be back really, really soon with some more. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.